Hey guys, welcome back. Unfortunately, we have the Bonneville here again. I don't know. Actually, I think probably people like seeing us work on it, but
They just want to see it drive like us.
honestly, yeah. So we've been like talking about the Bonneville ever since we did the rebuild again, like on the front cover and everything, where we got the balance shaft in time. It has still had water issues where we're finding water in the oil, and it was driving fine for a little bit, and then just came back. So really tough luck there.
So what happened is what we think is after we put it together and we got most of the bugs worked out, I noticed oil into the coolant, and I'm like, okay, that's weird. So,
Yeah, the reverse of it, because we were seeing water in the engine oil. Now we were seeing oil in the coolant reservoir.
Yeah,
and radiator.
And so what I did is I replaced the coolant and it came back. And then so I said, okay, I did a coolant flush, and I used an attachment, the press down attachment that lets you put a garden hose in line and basically flush all that shit out. Well, what I did inadvertently is push water into the oil, and it ran for a little bit like
That's
that.
what we suspect.
And so because we didn't see water in the oil before that happened, before I did that.
True.
And so after that, drain the oil and whatnot, and what we think it is we think it is there's a high pressure oil and a high pressure coolant passage a 1/4 inch from each other behind the rear cover, two of them. There's one in front of there's one in the front cover, but we sealed the coolant passages, so we know it's not from there. And after we put this engine together, actually, someone mentioned that we didn't RTV the rear cover, but they didn't say like why, or they didn't specify what we should have RTV'd. We only used the gasket.
The original rebuild of the Camaro motor that we put in here, someone mentioned it all the way back then.
And then someone also mentioned it to me on Facebook, and so it makes sense because I talked with a friend on Instagram, and basically he was showing me his bare block, and he kind of showed me
where the passages are.
He only really thinks that there's 3 places it could be coming from, because oil in the water is a very specific issue, and there's only very few places where high pressure oil and coolant passages are near each other for that to even happen. It's not a lower intake manifold issue, because that just wouldn't happen. And so
you have to think about it like logically and in steps. Like if you're diagnosing something like this, just like, okay, where is it happening? Like lower intake manifold gaskets are a common place of failure, but it's not like there's high pressure oil going through there. There is coolant, but it's not draining through there. We RTV'd it, and then we've learned our lesson too. Any keen viewers will know that when we rebuilt this, we did all new, just like normal like paper composite gaskets, whatever came in a kit. All of them have pretty much failed.
All of them.
So front cover, lower intake manifold, the gaskets for the supercharger and everything caused vacuum leaks. The front cover was just not great. So this is the last real seal that we haven't like just done RTV on, which that's what for these motors we're just going to be moving forward with doing. So that's where we're at. We're going to have to pull the motor out to get to the back cover, obviously. Can't just replace the gasket here. We know it's not the head gaskets. Tristan has done a compression test
on the front,
the
ones that we were concerned about. I didn't end up doing a leak down test because I've lost pretty much all motivation to work on this car after several times.
Rebuilding.
it just fights us every bit of the way. But we think we know the issue, because at least 3 different people have said you didn't RTV the rear cover, and we didn't.
Also, some people were saying it could be transmission fluid that was getting in the coolant. It's not, because we deleted the transmission cooler for the radiator, basically.
Yeah, so it completely bypasses that and then goes to this little transmission cooler. And so that's definitely not an issue. So don't recommend that. But by the time you guys see this video, hopefully we get this thing in or out and then back in.
We literally started very early in the morning. You can kind of hear it in our voice and in our face that we're kind of tired here. We're not used to waking up this early.
Yeah,
we want to get this done basically today/tomorrow. I would say we're not going to really be showing much steps. You've seen us take this thing in and out before, and tons of freaking work on it. We don't really need to show everything. We'll just show milestone stuff, I guess.
What time is it now? It's 9:13. I woke up at 7:30 and then couldn't get here until like 8:20 because the car wouldn't start. Now it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna get to work.
Order of all this. We want to remove the least amount of things, so
Yeah,
it takes the least amount of time. We're definitely going to unbolt the exhaust. We're going to, I don't know if you drained the coolant or
I haven't drained any fluids. Gonna have to take the intake off to snake the harness out from under it. And then also, like, this is an issue.
Oh, right.
We should drill this out a little bit.
Yeah,
because
it out.
Actually, when it was hot, like, oddly enough, when this was hot, I couldn't get this off.
Oh, expanded, yeah.
I don't know, yeah. But,
so we'll disconnect these coolant lines. We'll disconnect the exhaust. We'll disconnect, you know, whatever accessories we need.
Yeah.
We need to get the front motor mount. I think we'll disconnect or unbolt the torque converter first, and then the motor mount, and then bell housing bolts. You know, we'll do it in order just to get it out as efficiently as possible.
So just for you to know, Davis, like we need to get these off, and like literally how we put this freaking clamp on this back one, it's gonna be impossible to actually get it off of this. So I loosened these ones and took them off here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have to get these off of that.
Okay.
And then we can snake these back so we have more room. But yeah, like this is gonna be fucking hard to get off.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can leave this with the, you know, these on.
Spark plugs are fine.
And you know, some of like the vacuum lines we can leave on and shit, and there's a few things that we can, you know, leave on.
Yeah, we can probably leave the AC on, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see. We need to be able to, we don't need like this whole thing out of the car. We just need to lift it up just enough so we can get to the rear cover.
Right. Yeah, we can work on it right above the car. Yep.
So I think we're going to just start blowing through all this because this is like, we want to get it done. So like I said, we're probably not going to record a bunch of it. Just wanted to show you what's going on with it. And then hopefully that fixes it. And if it doesn't, then it's a part out. I don't know what your plans past it are.
Well,
buy different Bonneville and put all the go fast parts on it.
I'm not making any plans as of yet.
Yikes. All right, guys, so we're gonna be back. All right, guys, so we made some progress on here. Basically, we just got all the electronics disconnected. The wiring harness is just completely loose now, except maybe for something that goes under there.
Yeah,
and
there's only a few things.
Then I unbolted all the exhaust manifold bolts, so the exhaust manifolds are just free floating. And we disconnected the intercooler lines here and some of the other front stuff. So now we kind of just need to drain the fluids, disconnect the torque converter, disconnect the bell housing, disconnect the motor mount. And I guess we need to go over to his house and grab the engine lift. I mean, we can't really just lift it ourselves, bench press it out.
If only we lifted.
Pound some bangs and some rock stars, maybe we could.
This flavor tastes exactly like grape Skittles.
The fuck?
Exactly.
Those bangs are too much for me. I'm like,
they hurt my stomach really bad.
Oh, why do you drink them then? The fuck?
Because it's only, you know, it's 300 milligrams of caffeine. I need it.
You need it. I'm addicted.
I need it.
Yeah, so we're just, this thing is a far cry from what it used to be when we put it together. It was all nice, well, it wasn't nice paint, but all the obliterated header paint. We had dripped gasoline on the supercharger.
Don't show them that.
Just chipping now. Straight to the primer.
It's sad. It is really sad. But, you know, I'd rather it function than look good, to be honest.
We want to get it running first. We've already talked about it in the other videos, how stuff we want to do to it to make it nicer. But, yeah, right now we just want to get it running first.
Yeah, running good.
We have a lot of ideas on, you know, ways to make this thing nicer. Those will come in the later, you know, videos, I guess.
Yeah, as soon as it actually gets running good, it's going to get a brake upgrade.
Yep.
That'll be cool. V8
brakes,
Northstar brakes.
And then also Pro Sport gauges and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, that'll be cool.
You can get a legit oil pressure gauge.
Oh, yeah.
Tune.
Oh, well, actually, my oil pressure gauge actually reads correctly.
Oh, really?
It does.
There you go.
Surprising.
Well, wideband boost gauge potentially.
Yeah,
I mean, he has a boost gauge on the dash, but who knows how accurate that is.
Yeah, plus it you know, doesn't read past 10.
Yeah.
So
that's fine.
You'll definitely get a boost gauge and, you know, maybe a, I don't know, I haven't decided yet what other gauge, because I kind of wanted 3 total, but we'll see.
You can do 2, but...
Yeah, I can do 2. But, yeah, so she's loose, and we just got a few things underneath the car to get.
Yeah, drain all the fluids. And then the nice thing about this is, like, it's not so much a nice thing, but it has 2 transmission mounts and then only 1 motor mount. So
which is crazy.
Disconnect the 1 motor mount.
And also, you know, if you're not familiar with Bonnevilles, the freaking engine mount connects to the oil pan.
Yep, that's a very smart design. So if you just like bump over something, chances are you might just crack your whole oil pan.
Just dead.
We also set ourselves up nicely in case we needed to do this again. One of the motor mount bolts you can't actually really get to.
Yeah.
So we got
set ourselves up good with that.
We got an Allen head for it, so it'd be much easier to get out. Because that took up like 30 minutes or more because we had to go to the parts store for that too. But it took up a while. It's all about making it easier to like tear down too.
Especially because like you couldn't even get those bolts really out, like very easily at all.
Even just these, the frickin' intercooler lines before they were just 3/8 all the way through. If you had to disconnect them, you had to disconnect them at the intercooler, which right now how it's set up, we can't even do that.
Yeah.
But now that we have these, you know, not quick disconnects, but you know these, you know, these junctions, whatever you want to call them, it's easier to remove them.
Yeah.
So. Yep, we're just going to continue with this, get the torque converter bolts undone, motor mount, bell housing, and
it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, but we're almost done. Like once it's out, we just have to take the back cover off, clean it, RTV it, and then put it back together. Got our 6-ton jack stands, much safer. I feel much more confident being under there with those.
Yeah, me too. Says that falls, kills me.
I mean, that'd be a happy ending for the Bonneville and you.
I can finally have peace.
Oh yeah, under here, what else do we have really?
Got this.
Oh, really?
Ground.
Oh, that's
starter.
where that was going. We need to remember where those go. All your Davies Craig EWP 150.
Hell yeah.
Frickin' Cletus is using this for his radiator system and intercooler system on his El Camino.
Oh, is he? That's cool.
Yeah,
like one for each?
Yeah, one for each.
Nice.
One for his,
I like that.
His actual cooling system, then one for his intercooler. So he trusts this thing enough to put it on his fucking race car. He's gonna go 6s in.
Or Kevin trusts it.
Yeah, Kevin trusts it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I can't wait till these things become more mainstream. And it's like, yeah, I had that on my car before these guys had it. You know, then I can be a cool kid and hipster. Me and Davis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been an advocate of these water pumps for a long time. EWP sponsor us.
Please. I don't know what we do with extra, water pumps, but
we'd figure it out. Intercooler systems everywhere. I'm a big fan of intercooler systems. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna get down into this and start tear it into it. They were very close to being able to lift it out. We do need to go over to Tristan's to grab the freaking
nice
cherry picker. But can you get to those sensors up front?
I got the freaking harmonic balancer sensor off, and nice. Yeah, I got that off real nice.
All right, guys. Yeah. Before we continue, I just want to say we have a bunch of other videos. We definitely check those out. Subscribe to the channel; it really helps us out. Also, comment down below. Do you think this should be a part out? I think so. I guess commenting on our videos
people are probably
really helps.
In it.
Yeah, all those people love no. I think we should part it out, honestly. No, just kidding. But yeah, definitely comment down below, subscribe, check out our other videos.
I mean, it
we have
is
a
my
Patreon.
least favorite color.
Yeah, Goldine. All right, guys, we'll be back. All right, guys, so made some more progress on the Bonneville here. We got the torque converter bolts out. We got the, what else do we do? Wiring harness. There's the starter grounds, like just a bunch of wiring stuff. Yeah,
pretty much everything to the engine is unhooked that we think we need to get. We're still probably going to unhook the AC, just literally unbolt it, and then...
We're right under there. We can reach all the bolts pretty easily, and it'll just allow us to pull it to the side.
Yeah, we'll just probably... take the accessory belt off too, unbolt that. But besides that, I mean, we have everything that we see. There's probably like maybe a couple things that we might have forgotten, but everything that we know of, it's all unhooked, and we're about ready to rip it. We're about ready to go get the engine hoist, bring it over, basically support the engine, and then unbolt the engine
motor mount, and then the bell housing bolts, and then it should free itself.
Fluids.
Oh, we still haven't drained those.
Still haven't drained fluids, and then this guy taken off, that guy taken off, and then it should be ready to rip.
If the coolant's not too contaminated, we can... Or sorry, the coolant. Oh, it is. I was going to say we could reuse it, but never mind then.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked. But I do have extra coolant in my truck. I just don't have oil, which I'll, have to get later.
Yeah, I mean, while we're out, we could just buy some maybe.
That's true. We can go to Walmart or something.
Yep.
They got the cheapest oil. So yeah, we're basically...
Wait, you get to hear that?
Oh, no!
Oh, no!
Oh,
I'm like, where the hell? Where did that come out of?
Here, you...
Oh, it came out. No, I don't want to see. It's fine.
It's peeing.
A little bit. I was like, you can hear it in the engine.
But yeah, pretty much all we got left. Besides that, bell housing bolts.
Yeah, and who knows what size those are. Let me see. We got this 17 mil. I think it was 17. No, it is like 18 or something.
Yeah, and then that side bolt, that one side bolt.
Well, just not reinstall it.
No, let's reinstall it. In fact, I think I can see it. But, yeah.
I mean, we need to just maybe check other videos, but 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's one down there, I think, and that's it.
So 5 total?
Yep. And with those out, and motor mount out, we just need to lift it up just a little bit. Just yeet the back cover off, clean it up, and then I think I'm gonna need to buy some more RTV. My right stuff is like plugged; it's not coming out anymore.
Oh, in the can?
Yeah.
Darn it. So I guess we can maybe get that at Walmart or AutoZone. We can definitely get that at.
Well, yeah, let's just hop at AutoZone.
Okay.
Yep. So we're gonna go ahead and get the engine lift, maybe get some just food, and then whatever else, fluids and RTV.
Oh yeah.
We're very close to being done with this.
So it's currently hour and a half in.
Yep.
Everything's pretty much off that we, says a little bit. So that's good.
Yeah. I need to head out at like 2:30, but if we get it out and get everything in, and if we get it bolted back up, you can handle pretty much putting everything back in while I'm gone.
Yeah, all those plugs are simple.
Yeah.
And so it just takes time.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to get cleaned up and get going.
Yep. All right, guys, we are back. Isaiah's here.
Hello.
He's here for emotional support.
Yes.
This is the coolant. You can see great color. And then the engine oil coming out, it's not, you can't really see it, but it was definitely milkshake. So yeah, sad life, but we got the AC disconnected and the power steering. That actually went way faster than we were both thinking. Accessory belt off. Got all of the bell housing bolts off. It was a kind of a tight squeeze with the bottom one here, and then definitely this one's always the hardest, is behind there. I was able to get my swivel head ratchet and an extension between the exhaust manifolds down and then this way onto it. So all in all, not actually that hard. So now we're going to set up the engine lift on it and just to support it, and then disconnect the front motor mount, and we shall be able to completely pull the motor out.
Yeet.
And then do this Band-Aid fix, and then still not fix it.
No, it's gonna fix it.
Hopefully.
It's gonna fix it.
It's gonna be a freaking part out if it's not.
Yes, it's gonna fix it.
It's definitely gonna fix it. All right, guys, so we're lifting up the good old Harbor Freight cherry picker. We're not lifting it just yet. We still have to take off the 2 bottom motor mount bolts, but we just want to get this tight
Oh, wait, hang on.
first.
Hey, snake that through. Part of the harness down there. See that ground?
Don't want to crush anything important, obviously.
What about this fuel rail? It's
Ooh.
gonna.
Yeah,
it's
that's gonna bang this. So
You guys want to take that all
let's
off?
just take this off.
Here, no, wait, there you go.
That's
It's not touching it.
That's gonna put pressure on the fuel rail.
Don't put it on the fuel rail then.
Well, it's gonna straighten itself out one way or another.
You're fine.
Let's just try it.
Okay, don't do it too hard. That's good, just a little bit more.
We might want to go with this bolt.
Nah, that's fine. Okay, that's good. That's
By the
good.
way, we're like right up against the bumper right now.
Let's put some. Let's put. Oh, I guess we can put here. Fuck. Let's
We'd have to lower it again and then move it back.
just do it a little bit.
Anyways, yeah, we're just getting this all situated. We're going to take off the bottom bolt, lift up the motor,
That should be fine.
and with that, we should be able to get to the rear cover finally.
Well, we made some progress.
Yep, you can see this all out there. We got some, some banter.
Just
I
nothing,
guess.
nothing out of the ordinary of stock.
We do have RTV on the back of this. Part of it.
Hmm.
We'll have to see where it all is.
But yeah, as you can see, perfectly stock.
Yeah. So now we just need to take off these ARPs, just 10 mils, and then we can get to the back cover. It was kind of a struggle getting this up and out. We needed to like kind of fully.
Oh, it doesn't look like it's gonna move the.
Yeah. We had to disconnect the motor mount here, so that's kind of out of the way. It's kind of dripping a little bit. Torque converter's all good. It's just, peeing everywhere.
You're doing the pee.
Yeah. We can get the electric ratchet on this too, or unless it's like easy.
Not too hard.
But yeah, remove the flex plate, and then we also just have to remove the back plate, re-RTV it, inspect it, I guess, and put it all back together. All right, guys, some new developments. We got the back off here. When we were just taking bolts out, it was definitely leaking. I think the RTV was bad. It turns out we did put RTV on the back of it. It's just like, must have been getting through because this was pretty much like loose.
That could be because we pulled it off, but you know, I don't know.
I mean, just look how, even down here, like we barely pulled on it. Like there's
Still on there.
I don't know, this didn't have much, like right here. All it needs to do is leak here for it to drain into the oil pan.
Yeah, or you know, leak right into there, or vice versa, that into there, because this is where the two oil holes.
This was probably pushing oil into the coolant. That's what we saw last. And then after we did the whole water thing, maybe the water had, you know, the hose water was corrosive enough to like break this down.
Or have high enough pressure that it just popped that RTV out.
Either way, it's not looking great because there is tons of RTV on here, definitely. But I think we're just going to have to RTV the crap out of it. Really clean the surface so it's dry. Yeah. Same with this. And we'll use RTV the right stuff.
And fuck the gasket. I mean, you can see like remnants of the gasket. Like, look at this. It's you can barely see it.
Yeah, kind of cringe.
Yeah, honestly,
to be honest,
I wouldn't recommend using the gasket at all.
And it looks, I mean, we use RTV. This is oil resistant RTV. The right stuff is good for oil and coolant.
I got this.
Oops, sorry.
You hold the camera.
But yeah, we got this all off. We forgot about the last two bolts on the bottom. We should have done that while it was down.
Yep, we should have done that. But
we also blew up one of our spark plugs. Did not mean to do that.
I mean, it's still usable.
And then we yeah.
Well, you know, Bluetooth is a thing, so
yeah.
I mean, you just might arc the spark, and it just might, you know, misfire.
Well, that's more electricity.
Run to the parts store, get a new one. But yeah, it's out, and I hope we did it like once it goes back in easy. I think it should, just as long as we line everything up. Just get the harness out of the way. Might want to zip tie the harness out of the way while we have this out, so it doesn't get under the engine while we lower it. But this is the job that we set out to do, and I mean, what time is it now? It's 12:40. So that's like total 3 hours of work plus like half an hour of driving.
Yeah, and well, I would say all the hard part is done.
Yep. And we kind of have more of an idea and more of an answer what, you know, might have gone wrong. I think, yeah, I really think that just behind here, all it needed to do is blow past that.
That's true.
It's really not a lot.
That's all I needed. And you know what? I see this RTV.
It's thin as hell.
Where's the gasket?
There's no
gasket. Where's the gasket? Oh, that's where the gasket is. You know, like, look how thin it is, especially.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
It almost
this
looks
one
like it went through here. Like,
there is no gasket on this one, or at least it's as flat as the metal.
Yeah, look, and there's no gasket here.
Yep, that's the one.
So where is it?
This must have been where it was leaking.
So where is the gasket?
If you look at it like that,
yeah,
must have been leaking right here.
It's probably like gasket in the oil pan or something.
No joke, seriously, the remnants might be in there. Remnants might just be caught on the lip around here. But it was draining through the back, definitely. That's one area it was leaking. So yeah, we're just gonna clean this up, dry it up, and get RTV to write stuff on it. And I think we're gonna let it sit overnight before we do anything with coolant, or
I think so.
Yeah. Tomorrow you can take it home. All right, guys, so we cleaned up the surface completely dry, got it all sanded down, and then you can see the RTV where we put it all around there. We followed the channel in the back, basically for the oil. Basically, pressure oil comes through here and up here, or it comes out through there. Basically the cam, or the balance, that's how the balance shaft gets oil. And then also the cam here drains down. But we got RTV all around it. We might add just a smidge more like right here because it looks a little weak. I'm primarily concerned about the bottom stuff because that's what would drain with gravity. But we want to just glob this crap on. We don't want to clog anything, obviously, but we want to be more safe than sorry. Got RTV around every bolt hole. Clean this up, as much as we could. Just gonna dry it with some brake clean. But yeah, we're about to put this back on, and once it's back on, it's not coming back out. And if there's still problems, then
we'll see.
Time to sell. Time to part out. So yeah, we're gonna just let this get tacky. We're gonna apply this on, put this on, bolt it on. Actually, maybe check torque specs. I don't know. Make sure that they're tight.
What are those?
Yeah. And then put it back down. Basically just get in between the exhaust manifolds. We'll probably pull the harness up out of the way because we don't want it getting stuck under the engine as it goes down. And get the motor mount on, get the bell housing bolts on, and then Tristan and Isaiah, or just Tristan, can really get to the rest of it. And you can see here, when it got really hot, the freaking valve cover like bulged up. Unless that's...
It almost looks like that's...
No, it is. It is
supposed to do
supposed
that.
to be like that, I guess.
But then, like,
I see
look,
the lip,
I mean,
but
you
it did
can
get
see
bubbled.
where it bubbled it, so it got really hot.
Did get hot. It's not the same on the back, though. It's not the same on the back. But,
I
yeah.
don't fucking know.
Anyways, we're going to be putting this back together here shortly.
Pretty soon.
And, yeah, we'll be back.
I don't know what everyone keeps talking about. That's a stock flex plate. It came from the factory like that.
Yeah, it's got GM on there somewhere.
See?
Yeah, GM.
That's GM's badge of honor.
So,
GM equals gay men, and GMC is a gay man Chevy. Everyone knows that.
we got the ARPs back in. So, turns out those are 3/8 and not 10 mil. Well, that's fine. Got everything torqued down the back, and all this to spec. We did use the torque wrench. I have it out over
Yeah,
there.
we use the angle function.
We did. So, yeah, this is ready to go back in now. I mean, got all the bolts where they need to go. Newer TV.
Dropper.
I mean, we can actually start dropping it. We do need to kind of like orientate it that way. So,
sure.
I might set up the camera so we can just do that. Let's, yeah,
Shit, am I bleeding too?
probably.
Is that your blood on me?
Probably that.
Why do you keep cutting yourself?
Dude, when you're working on cars, you have to cut yourself. You ain't working right.
All right, you ready?
No. So
No.
it's gotta come towards you before it goes down.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, but, oh. Okay, Isaiah, drop it a little bit.
Drop it fast. Roll fast. Hard too.
Okay, stop. I'm gonna have to.
Oh yeah, it's coming at an
Something
angle.
in my eye.
That's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna need to. I'm gonna set the camera down. It's gonna require both hands kind of to do this. So, yeah, we are pretty much done with what we want to do. We're just putting the motor back.
I see.
Yeah, there's no room here.
Ooh.
But it's fine. We'll get it. Basically, just needs to. We need to lift up on this side, kind of.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
So we'll be back. All right, guys. So we are getting pretty close. We actually didn't show any of us getting this in here. Basically, there's just so much that we needed. A lot of struggle. Basically, what ended up happening is we needed to get the AC kind of out of the way because it was sitting on that. Get the engine pretty straight. So we had to rig up this thing to like leverage it, pull up the front. Someone had to pull up the front there and move it. We really just had to make it straight. And then we got one bolt in. Then we got another bolt in somewhat, and then this dowel down here was kind of off. So we loosened this up and that up. And then we just got a tiny hand pry tool, wherever that is. And the small version of this, got that in there and then tweaked it, and then it literally just snapped in. Like,
I feel like most of our lining up problem was literally the AC pump getting in the way the entire time. And that thing weighs a metric shitload, so
it's really front
hard.
it's really front heavy, and there's just not a lot of room for it.
It's really hard to maneuver, but
So,
we got it.
You can see the exhaust is kind of.
We
should move this intake over. Yeah, you could probably get it over. Like that,
nice.
but it still needs to go forward. Yeah, never mind. I'm so good at car stuff.
Good to go.
Anyways, so we just got the front motor mount bolted in, and the top bolt just needs to be finished up, and yeah, then they can get the last bell housing bolts in, and I mean, obviously, Tristan.
Oh no!
Fuck.
Oh no!
I'm gonna take the valve cover off and figure that out.
Tighten it or something.
Yeah, there's a jam nut in there. Anyways, yeah, so not that they needed me to help them with this, but with 3 people, it's easier to line everything up. So
much easier.
Now that it's bolted in and statically here, they can finish up. So they'll probably do some updates. Zoe and I are going to be back here in a couple hours. So, yeah. And then it's really just wiring everything back up.
Yep.
And then there's some other, we need to put the spark plugs back in because one broke. You still don't even need to buy one.
Yeah.
But we're not firing this up today. We want to give the seal as much chance as possible at life.
Yep, and the hard part is over.
Yep.
So that's pretty much it.
All right, yeah. So we're going to get out of here. These guys will update you, I'm sure, with more progress. So we'll be back. All right, guys, I'm just going to let these guys struggle for a second with this. Just kidding. Where are the nuts?
They're on the towel.
They might be in the dish too.
God,
Some of them are. Yeah, here
we
go.
have a system here.
Yeah, the system's losing bolts.
So, as you can see, the whole thing's back together. These guys decided not to do any updates, which is fine. They, just blasted through some work, which is oh
I'm
crap,
fine.
bro.
Yeah, it's
Hello.
good.
Anyways, yeah. So, very cool how much work we were able to get done in just today. Yeah, get this guy on.
Basically, we got everything except the spark plugs in.
Is this one? It's gonna have to be.
Here's one I have. Oh shit, that is definitely not the right one.
Okay, here you go. I found it.
Cool.
What is wrong with you people? They just fidgeting with it. Put this thing together. Why? Anyways, we got this pretty much all buttoned up. It literally has everything except for spark plugs. Here, if you want to lower it just a smidge.
Nice.
Nice. Now it has a hood again. So everything's done except for the spark plugs like we showed. This one kind of broke. And Tristan's just gonna get all new ones, which is not a big deal.
Heat on me.
So the lines, we had to kind of extend one of them. And looking at it, we actually didn't really lose much. The farther one back here has a 3/8 to 3/8 kind of deal. Well, it goes 1 inch to 3/4 to, and then 3/4 all the way through.
Ow! Ow! Frick!
I don't know where it went, but he had that one hose that got broke, so just replace that.
We got that fixed.
We got this totally zip tied out of the way. It's not in any danger of getting hit by any belt, and you can really pull on this thing, and it's not going to touch any belt. They got everything else all plugged back in together where it needs to go.
Wait, where did that...
Yeah, he's getting the reservoir on. So cool, we got the actual intercooler fixed,
Hey,
or the
let's,
intercooler lines fixed.
Isaiah, come over here. Let's show everyone our arms.
Oh my god, yeah. So there was one wait. There's one infamous time we were at the racetrack. Tristan needed a zip tie. What was
Yeah,
it for?
because a vac line kept popping off, and then I was like, it was obviously running bad and low power, so I'm like, shit, I need something to secure it on if it keeps popping off. So I go to the only person nearest to me who had this nice big trailer, who had this like pro mod freaking like, classic built up, and I asked that guy if he had any zip ties, and he said, no. Do I look like my car is held together with zip ties? And I'm like, oh.
What car isn't held together by zip ties? But Tristan's car like transcends that. There's zip ties everywhere. Look at all these.
See,
every single one of these that have been cut are like knives.
After that, man, I set out to prove him right. I guess prove him wrong. He didn't really have a point to prove, but so now we're paying for it because, it's relatively not that bad. All right, now let's see Davis's. Davis is like all right, let's see the back of your hands. Okay, and then Isaiah.
Red and bleeding.
And there is one on my arm, but it got stuffed with dirt.
Yeah, like we've all bled today a little.
It's so painful. Like earlier today used some hand sanitizer by mistake.
Boy.
It hurt so bad.
Yikes.
So I am pretty impressed with what we were able to do today. We got this whole thing out and back in. 10 hours. We started at 9 and it's 7 now. So
yeah, and then if you hadn't lived left, we would have gotten it done faster even.
Yeah, I was gone for 3 hours.
Exhaust, and so Isaiah fucked around with the exhaust for a while, and then I fucked around with the converter bolts because I'd never done that before, and so
Yeah, it just needs the spark plugs. We also redid the nipple on here. We actually got a washer on it, so there's a nut inside the washer, so they really sandwich together. So this is really on there now. The whole intercooler system's fixed, and
did we show like it wobbling and stuff?
We probably got it on camera. It was so loose in here because this valve cover isn't even plastic that we found out. It's like a cardboard. I don't even know.
Yeah, it has like these fibers in it. And then we drilled a hole in it, and then after looking closely at it in the inside, it's now kind of like crumbling apart from the hole.
Yep.
So it's a great material.
Yep, so we got this all pretty much done. I think we're probably going to end it because Tristan needs to get out of here. And
Much to even, do or say.
Say what?
I said there ain't even much more to do or say.
Like literally, unless we wanted to go to the parts store, get some spark plugs and put that in, we still want to give it a good 24 hours for the RTV to set.
Yeah.
We want to give this seal as much potential as possible.
For real.
We do not want to have to do this again. And if this doesn't fix it, I don't know what else we're going to do. Leave a comment, suggestions on what you think might be the problem. It's leaking oil into the coolant. Coolant's leaking into the oil.
It's all fuckered up.
Yeah, new head gaskets, new limb gaskets, new front cover with RTV.
New, literally every gasket.
Every
actually.
gasket's new. So
Newer now.
So unless
they're a little old,
if
but
those fail, then it's like a crack somewhere.
Yeah, like those gaskets, are a little old, but there's literally no runtime on that engine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so
We'll
I think
figure it out.
we're just gonna pull everything into the garage, get the Bonneville off jack stand, so we got the wheel back on,
Oh yeah, I forgot that it was.
and we can leave the engine lift here. There's no reason to bring it back right now to your place, unless you want to use it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use it right now. So.
And Tristan will be back tomorrow actually to get the spark plugs in and give it a fire. And we're actually not going to know if this fixed it until like the day after if he does an oil change.
Yeah, so we really won't know for at least a little bit.
Yeah, I might want to do some driving.
The oil showed up in the coolant pretty quick.
And I think a good idea is to run it up to operating temperature and then just do some driving, run up to operating temperature. That should evaporate some of the water that's in it. And then do an oil change because it's been running with water in it for a little bit. We've trying to not run it while it has this issue, but there, just to get it here, it had to drive.
Yeah, I didn't even know that all the oil was freaking water mix just because I had done an oil change and then just let it sit.
Yep.
And so it already filled back up with freaking water. So we'll see what happens.
I might run it with transmission fluid first.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna flush it with something, and then replace the oil. I'm actually probably just gonna do the oil change and then flush the engine later because like if the problem persists, there's no reason to do that.
The amount of oil that's left in the actual like cooling system isn't a big problem. The water in the oil is the biggest problem.
Yeah, and there was still it was still sitting in the valve covers and whatnot. And then when we took the rear cover off, you could see it was still in the passages. So that stuff is not just gone.
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, and there's still water in the engine, just a little bit from residual.
That's why the oil change needs to happen as soon as possible.
I just power washed this section of the driveway where the Camaro was, and look what you do to it. This is you.
That's the money.
We're also gonna need to get the fender liner in.
Nah. We
That's
can
fine.
just throw that in my car. We don't have any good clips really to put back in because they're just gonna break again.
All right, guys. So,
Cool.
yeah, I think we're gonna end it off here today. Thank you for the help, Isaiah.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for the help.
Three people, one motor, in and out, one weekend. Not even weekend, just Saturday.
Yeah, 1 10-hour day.
So, yeah, definitely check out some of our other videos. We appreciate that. Leave a comment. Definitely subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.